Hi there, welcome to Waking Circles. My name is Evelyn, and today I want to talk to you about the grief of leaving when you're in love. And this idea of leaving with a smile on your face. For this video, I want us to expand our notion of what being in love is. Often we think about being in love in terms of romantic love, but I want us to think about being in love with a role, being in love with a community, being in love with a space that you've built or a place that you've lived in, a place that you call home. But most importantly, I want to talk about the decision to leave one of these places, spaces, people, when you still very much love them and when you love the person that you are in that space. I don't feel like we talk enough about the grief that comes with letting go of something that's quote unquote good for you, something that you cherish, something that maybe you're having doubts about leaving because you still have that love for the space or the person. And sometimes deciding to stay is the right thing, and sometimes deciding to stay can once again feel like you can't quite fit into your skin. The notion of leaving or making the decision to leave and move forward can change how we stay. So what I mean by that is that once we have made the decision that we want to move on from, move forward towards something else, and we still have that grace period of having to stay in the place or the situation that you've already internally decided to shift from, it creates a difference in how we show up. We might find ourselves being more intentional, being more present, being more giving towards the individuals involved in that space. And that can lead you to think or wonder, why couldn't I have done that before I decided to leave? Maybe this is reason enough to stay. Maybe I am meant to stay. But deciding to move can give you direction, purpose, meaning. It can make those last few weeks or months or however long it is that you have left in that space, it can make it feel more special because you're actively grieving and letting go of something that it's still so much within your grasp. And this makes me think of the idea that life is only meaningful because we die, right? That because there is this end in sight, kind of, it gives meaning to everything in between. And throughout our lives, we will go through many changes, many deaths. And I think there is something to stepping into that change with eyes wide open, knowing that you're maybe about to free fall and you don't know what's next exactly. And you know that the changes are going to be difficult. You know that they might cause pain. You know that it might cause doubt. You know that it might cause you to question everything that you thought you knew. And yet you decide to take that step with eyes wide open, knowing it might bring all of those things. And knowing that if you were to stay, if you were to delay the move, you would not fit into that space or that environment the same way that you did perhaps when you first entered it. If you don't move with the wheel, you risk staying in a place where you might end up feeling resentful, stagnant, questioning and doubting why it is that you feel this way, but unable to make a move towards the next you that you are becoming. I don't really know what feels more difficult, leaving a space that you know has been turbulent and you know has been difficult, or a space where it has been nothing but good to you. Because I think there's little parts of us that believe I'm never going to have anything as good as this, or this is as good as it can get. And I think that's what making the decision to leave can feel even harder. And of course, on the other end, when it's been a turbulent experience, there can be a lot attaching us to that place, to that person. Something also happens once you do make that decision internally. Before you even begin to take steps to finalize and announce your decision, things begin to shift because you have made that decision. New people might come into your life, new opportunities might also arise. You might feel different than what you did before. And all because you took that internal first step. Then comes the nerve-wracking part of actually announcing your decision. And sometimes the grief of letting go whilst you're still in that space can feel so big that it can be paralysing. It can make you doubt yourself. And something that I feel can help with that is asking yourself, what is the next step? What is the next right thing? What is that one thing that I can do to help me be closer to what I need? Then comes the saying goodbye part, which it's hard to say goodbye. I recently watched a show called Frieren. It's an anime, and it basically sees and touches on grief and the loss of not getting to know the people that you love through the perspective of an ancient magical elf who has lived well over like 1,000 years. And so anyone she gets close to, she watches disappear into her memory. So for 10 short years, she travels with a party, and most of them are human. And there was one character in this party that had a very peculiar philosophy on saying goodbye. So this is someone that is extremely caring for others, would go out of his way to help anyone he could. And after spending 2 weeks with a stranger that they met on the road, they drank, they shared deep feelings and memories, and they grew close in these couple of weeks. And as they were saying goodbye, it was quick, simple, sweet, no crying, nothing. Okay, cool, bye, see ya. And he turns around and he moves on. And the rest of the party were like, that's so out of character for you. Why are you saying goodbye like that? And what he says is something along the lines of, it would be too embarrassing the next time we see each other. Like, it would be too embarrassing to cry this much right now when we're going to see each other again. So there was this hope of returning, this hope of reconnecting. And I think what I took from that, or what I can take from that for this video, is that whether you are meeting once again in the physical, or whether it's through memory, the value of what you've shared within that space stays with you. So you might feel that by saying goodbye, you're letting go of something that you'll never get back. But the reality of it is that the person, the place, the situation is now a part of you. The memories and the things that you learned will always be with you. I'm someone that has struggled with saying goodbye, and I've held on really tightly to people that I loved and spaces that I loved. And even those painful endings, I still did not want to let them go. And as I find myself reflecting on this years later, I feel like this show helped me heal and understand something about saying goodbye that I was too hurt to understand before. I've wanted people in my life to stay forever when maybe they weren't meant to, and maybe I wasn't meant to stay in theirs. So something that I want to start practicing is to leave with a smile in my face, because I know that I have gained so much from the places that I've been in. I know that I will remember every single person that I have been in contact with in those spaces, because they taught me something. They marked my heart in a way that my heart will always remember. And as I move on and go on to new ventures, their memory will still be alive in me. So if you're struggling with grief as you prepare to leave something you love, remember to jump off the precipice with eyes wide open. And as you're doing it, have a smile on your face. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you're able to navigate whatever you're experiencing in your life with love and grace. And if you need to be messy, and I hope that you feel supported in doing so. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.